My name is Priscila Camelo. I'm civil engineer, and currently I'm doing my master in geodetic science and geoinformation geotechnologies at the Federal University of Pernambuco in Brazil. And today I want to share our work on GNSS ATK. We test how this technology behaves in real field conditions. This is joint work with Lucas Calado and Andrea de Seixas. So let me start. Introduction and motivation. So, first, let me explain why we did this study. GNSS ITK has become very popular in the last years. Today, many engineers use it for surveying, for mapping, and to support drone flights. But there is a problem. People often use RTK without strict methodological control. A very common practice is this. You put the base on any point, then you collect your data with limit tracking time. After that, you correct with PPP. This is fast and works in many cases, but how confident is it? So that's your question. And contest and problem. So now the problem behind. In ITK, there are two well-known issues. The first one is the vertical component. The height is always less stable than the horizontal positions. The second one is the way they usually test the ITK. Most studies compare with a single reference point or with a small network. But this does not tell us if the internal geometry is correct. That is why we use a calibration baseline. A baseline with no fixed shapes gives us a stronger way to test. We can check not only the coordinates, but also the height difference between points. Objective. So here's our goal. We test GNSS ITK on a calibration baseline at our university. The focus on the height component. We studied three things. First, repeatability. Do we get the same result every time? Second, geometry consistency. Do the two campaigns agree? Third, the height geometry. Do the difference between points stay the same? These three ideas get the whole talk. Now, the study area. We use a calibration baseline on a main avenue at our campus in Recife. It has 7 points from P1 to P7. They form a straight line. This baseline was not built by accident. It's built precisely for this kind of quality analysis. The geometry is well known and controlled. The baseline follows two standards. The first, ISO 171234. This is the international standard to test distance meters. The second is NPR 13133. This is the Brazilian norm for topography surveys. This is the ideal place to compare to ATK strategies. Methodology. Now, let me explain the field work. You use a CHC receiver in ATK mode. For every point, we made 8 measurements. But it's an important detail. We did not collect all 8 at the same moment. We did 4 measurements first, and then 4 more later. These are on purpose, because in real engineer work, you do not collect everything at once. You come back to a point another day or another moment. So we want to see, does ATK give the same result when you come back? We run 2 campaigns. The only difference is the base station. In scenario A, we type the no base coordinate by hand. This is the careful approach. In scenario B, we let the base track data for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Then we correct with PPP. Scenario B is the most common workflow in the field, especially to support drone flights and fast surveys. Statistical framework. From the analysis, we follow 3 simple steps. Step 1, internal repeatability. We look at the spread of the height 8 measurements. Step 2, we compare the 2 campaigns, A versus B. Step 3, we look at the height difference between consecutive points. Use basic statistics, standard deviation, the coefficient of variation, and IMSE. And we do this for north, west, and height. Internal repeatability. So this is the results. On the left is campaign A, on the right is campaign B. Look at the blue and the dark bars. They are the north and west. They are very small, only few millimeters. So planimetry is very stable. Now look at the red bars. There is the height. The height bars are clearly bigger. In campaign A, point P3 is the worst. In campaign B, point P4 is the worst. There is a possible reason for this. Between P3 and P4, on the baseline, there are big trees. They block part of the sky. This problem also influenced the results at these points. Now, this is the important part. Remember, the 8 measurements will not collect at the same moment. We did 4 and then 4 more. The 4 measurements inside each group were very consistent, very close to each other. But when we compare the first group of 4 with the second group of 4, we see a divergence, especially at P3 and P4. So the same point, if the same base, give different results in 2 different moments. And even your best results, the difference between the 2 groups was closer to 1 centimeter. This is a key message for engineering work. If you collect the same point on different days with the same reference, you see centimeter level difference. The satellite geometry change, the condition change, and RTK does not repeat perfectly even at the same point with the same base. This is a point of attention for any project that needs high reliability. Comparison between campaigns. Now we compare the 2 campaigns. For this analysis, we treat campaign A as the reference. Why? Because the base coordinates of A are already known. So A is a careful baseline. When they ask how much does campaign B depart from A, this is important because B uses the common workflow in the field. Short tracking time, then PPP correction. The horizontal difference are small. The MSE is north is 50 millimeters and S about 7, but in the height, the MSE is 34 millimeters, much longer. Remember, the works is the same day, same point, same equipment. And this shows the cost of using a PPP corrected by base with a short tracking time. Interpoint height difference. Now, a closer look at the height difference between points. This table shows for each segment the height difference in A and B and the difference B minus A. The last column is the key one. It tells us how much B departs from A in each segment. In 4 of 6 segments, the difference is small, 12 millimeters or less, so the shape of the line is well preserved. 2 segments are worse, P3 to P4, with 29 millimeters, and P6 to P7 with 25. So the main message is this. Even if 13.4 millimeter absolute shift in height, the shape of the baseline is almost the same. This shape is a translation, not a deformation. This is good news for the many practical use, especially when you care about the height difference between points more than about the absolute heights. So, conclusions and future work. Let's give the main conclusions. First, about repeatability. Within a single group of measurements, ATK is consistent. The 4 repetitions are very close to each other. But when we compare the first group of 4 with the second group, at the same point with the same base, we see a divergence, especially at P3 and P4. This means ITK does not repeat perfectly across different moments. This is a point of attention for engineer works. Second, about accuracy, when we treat campaign A as as the reference. Campaign B shows a systematic shift, mostly in the height, but the shape of the baseline is preserved. The shift is a translation, not a deformation. For future work, we plan 3 things. First, test new technologies like Trimble ITX and question the position quality. Second, run a longer statistical survey on each point to build a more accurate reference. And third, repeat the campaign on different days. So that's my talk. Thank you very much for your attention.